What's going on, everybody? It's nice to see you all here this morning. Hello, 2024. This is our first live stream of the year. Very excited to be here. Hope you guys are having a great morning and a great start to the year. We're just getting started here. Already got quite a few people joining in. This is great to see. I'm glad to see everyone's getting excited with the new cycle starting. Give it a sec as we let people filter in. I know there's a slight delay on both platforms. We're streaming right now to Twitter/X and YouTube. So we are cross-platform, omni-platform, and having a good time. We have a lot going on today. So I'll give you guys a quick rundown of what to expect. And then we'll jump right into it. I have a bunch of guests from the team. I have guests from outside the team. We have Jeff on as well to talk about Lightning Works and things like that. We're going to start off just talking about the overall market, which there's a lot going on. Even though we're only 11 days into the year, we have quite a bit of news to cover. We're going to go over what's going on at the foundation. We're going to go over what's going on with Divi, the for-profit entity, some of the things that you guys can expect coming up, and we'll try to take some questions at the end given the time. So we'll try to get through all of it as quickly as possible and give you guys as much robust information as humanly possible. I see some new faces already in the crowd from the Morales money side. I had a great conversation with Pone Sauce Phil yesterday morning, and he's a great guy. I know that a video went out to some of the Morales money subscribers. If you're not subscribed, you won't see that video, but I saw it and it's fantastic. Very thorough, very honest as well. It's not a shill video. It's very educational, and I really appreciate the Morales Money guys for taking a time to follow up with us. I know that there was a video that went out about Divi not long ago, and the fact that they were willing to come and get some additional information from me and the rest of the team was really cool. Really cool. They obviously give a shit about their community. So it's you don't always see that in crypto. So glad to see that. But let's get into the market. Obviously, we have some enormous news over the past couple of days. We've seen some tumultuous market movements thanks to the incompetence of the U.S. government. Thank you, Gary, for protecting us for so long. But your job is now done. We have a Bitcoin spot ETF. This is something that has been talked about for years, multiple cycles. Of course, we had the futures ETFs go live in the previous cycle with BACT and CME, and those have done well, but they don't give exposure to the underlying asset, Bitcoin. And really, they were just a tool to reverse speculate on the market. They've pretty much traded at parity with the underlying Bitcoin market for the entirety of the time, which ultimately defeats the purpose of a futures derivative in the first place. Hester Pierce did a great job, a scathing review of their behavior over the past 10 years in their efforts to admonish Bitcoin, make it impossible for traditional finance to sell Bitcoin to their customers. She was very honest about how things went down, and I gotta say I respect Hester Pierce a lot more. I already did respect her a lot. Obviously, she's the SEC commissioner, sort of Gary's counterbalance in the organization. And what's funny is Gary himself voted yes for the ETF ultimately at the end of the day, which says a lot. He's been fighting against crypto for reasons unknown. We can speculate on those reasons. The reason is Elizabeth Warren, but that's speculation. Bottom line, the Bitcoin ETF is here as expected. There was a huge run up to the announcement, a bit of a sell off as the trading went live this morning. So everybody's eyes are on the prize right now, looking at how this new announcement will play out over the course of the next 10, 12, 18 months as the Bitcoin halving comes up in a few months and the rest of the cycle takes place. It's crazy. It's so fitting that the SEC approval tweet was premature and the whole thing turned into a meme. Wouldn't have it any other way in crypto. I got to say, I love it, despite its ridiculous nature. It's been great. As far as like my personal outlook on the market over the next 12 to 18 months, extremely bullish. I just don't see how we don't also see, at least an ETF introduced. I think there's a requirement for approval or denial in May. Don't quote me on that. I can look it up later. For some of the ETH ETFs that have already been filed. So we may see that this year. Obviously, the Bitcoin one lays the groundwork for other ETFs to come into the fold. I feel like first we'll see ETH, perhaps we'll see other major coins, perhaps we'll see baskets of coins eventually. This really establishes the trad market for crypto. Personally, I don't really care about traditional finance. To me, crypto is the future of money. The underlying asset is all I need to hold. But obviously, I am in the minority when it comes to this. There's trillions of dollars lying in wait, ready to jump into this ecosystem through regulated channels like an ETF offered by BlackRock and the others. So it's great news. It's great news. However you feel about it, it's historic, and it's a big win for the industry. So as far as the Divi Foundation is concerned, I'm going to bring up some of our foundation guys. We have today Baldy, Neegs, Voice. Why don't you guys take it away? I know there's a lot going on with the foundation, so I'll kind of let you introduce. Maybe Rob, if you want to introduce the topic.
Sure. So foundation. So we've got a number of things. We've talked about most of all of these before. I don't think we can spend a lot of time on it because we've heard of it all. So I'll just go through a quick list. Some of the developments at the blockchain more recently, and again, I still haven't seen this stuff in other blockchains. Is our ability to perform escrow and subscriptions on chain. No third party. Desktops are going to be seeing improvements over the years. We've got the DAO to talk about, maybe some market making, maybe some side chains. Those are the big things that we'll talk about, during this time. Out of these, technology-wise, I've mentioned it before, but we just had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. There's not been any technical progress on these subscriptions. They're still in the core, but I believe we're going to be seeing some tools come out this year that allow people to do it. Now, the subscriptions for the new people, it's really neat. So everybody's familiar with sending funds to somebody, right? But what's nice is without a smart contract on chain already, you can send funds to people with conditions. And so the conditions can be something like a certain amount of time has passed, or other conditions that make funds get released. So the condition could be something off-chain, like a sell a property, like normal escrow, that kind of thing, or it could be like a number of funds go out at a certain rate, a certain amount of time has passed. So now you can have subscription for a service, all on chain. Both parties can see the funds there. The funds actually get released to the receiving party after a certain amount of times. And so there's cool stuff you can do. You can provide a service. You can also fund things this way, or gather funds this way, or release Divi this way. There's a whole bunch. Or if this catches on, to other coins, we'll talk about that with sidechains or other services. We'll talk about that with sidechains. But the subscriptions are a really powerful tool, and I will admit right now it's a little too complicated to actually expect anybody to use at the moment. That's why the tools need to come out. Desktop, I don't know if Neegs or Voice wants to talk about what we're looking at for the desktop this year. Doesn't have to just be me here.
Absolutely. I just got to bring myself off mute there for a second.
Yeah, that would help.
Desktop. Well, you have to remember, we just came out with the desktop in August and September, right? So we just had this middle ground release, the version 1 of 3.0, right? So this is, or 2.0, excuse me. This is very, very still hot off the presses. We're still 6 months into it. What does that mean, though? What does that mean? It means that some of the features and functions that are going into this wallet are still on the roadmap. That's going to clarify some of the features and functions that smooth out that crypto made easy flow that we're in, but in a much, much technologically different way in masternodes. And as if you were here between 2017, 18, 19, really 18 and 19, it was no, I'm not going to say terrible. It was wonderful. But there were definite issues with the crypto made easy flow on that masternode, which is a philosophy, not a goal. And so as we got moving along, it smoothed out all of those processes to the point to where mobile was able to integrate some of those same things on the lab side. And man, we made an infrastructure that was beautiful from that. And I want to clarify, crypto made easy means participation, supporting the network. And so we made that so beautiful as a community and a team in the masternodes. Well, masternodes are now gone. Vaults are technologically far more advanced, far more beautiful, bring far more opportunity, far more stability. The blockchain is so much more stable and even more strong. In fact, Neegs was just letting me know that just a day or two ago, we reached our highest difficulty on the blockchain. I'm not going to digress onto the blockchain too much yet. The point is about the desktop is the desktop has those little tweaks, features, and functions coming into it. And we're going to see some of that change coming. I'm not going to say exactly when, but we're going to be working on some of those things with the desktop team that are going to make that flow, that communication mirror, not exactly the same because it's a much more beautiful, clean, flexible process. That flow in the desktop, so it's not an enjoyment. It is almost like you click a button and go, right? So it's a peace of mind in the flow, and so it's going to be fantastic. But not just that. There are other things that are coming that will be related into the desktop, that will be built into the desktop, that will maximize some of those other features and functions that are part of the blockchain. So I just want to make sure everybody is excited. Some of those rough edges will be smoothed over. Some new features and functions are going to come in, and you're going to love what we have planned. And just keep your eyes on the desktop. Desktop was never dead. It's always been moving forward, and it's always been the leader of the open source blockchain.
Cool.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Hey, everyone. So I'll add a bit of context on that. I also want to bridge back to the market sentiment. Basically, a lot of our budget is based on the market price, the Divi price, and it is really supporting the whole ecosystem, the whole development team. And this is why we have a lot of projects being for the mobile wallet or the desktop wallet, but this is also relying on better market sentiment and seeing the market being able to recover. We have seen that in the last 3 months, and everybody was like waiting for the ETFs. And now that it is basically approved and we're moving forward, it's really good news including for Divi, because this better market sentiment will support us to deploy more solutions in the desktop wallet and also the mobile wallet and other products.
Is it just me, or do you guys feel like a weight was lifted? Like we went through this summer. That was, I don't know about you guys, but that was rough.
Oh yeah, I would say. Nick is smiling right now. It's like, so it's like there is a feeling, I think, just in general sentiment in crypto. If we even just roll back a little bit to that ETF, I mean, look at what happens to the market from a non-crypto perspective. Some people are so ultimately totally clueless about the crypto market, but they know about Bitcoin. We're talking about branding and those kinds of things. It allows those people that are on the external. Look, most of the people listening right now, everybody in the stream, everybody we're talking to, 99% of those people are most of us would be considered nerds, right? There's no question. No matter how little you're in or how much you're in, the fact you mentioned Bitcoin, you're a nerd. Most of those people that are interested in the ETF, that institutional money or those people that are managing those funds those people are going to be able to reach out to their community, their clients, and get those people involved in at least dipping their toe into that market with their perception of protection, right? So you already know I'm on the other side of the fence. Their perception of this digital gold mentality that is talked about, and that's going to be sold is part of what it is. They think and feel that there's some mirrored aspect to the gold market, although we do know, as we're all in it, that the velocity or the stability of pricing isn't exactly the same. But this can bring something to it. Now, on the other side, of course, there is that detachment, right? So people still don't own their Bitcoin. People still really don't have the protections they may think that they have, as we all understand. Overall, even though those people will be getting involved and be able to say that they have some Bitcoin in their portfolio, they still won't have any ownership. They won't have any. Their action is a contradiction to really Satoshi's philosophy. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. All that matters is blockchain, and that technology is being pushed to the forefront. And that in and of itself brings this sort of stamp of approval that says, hello, cryptocurrencies are here. And the rest of those people outside of those ETFs will start sniffing around, will start investigating. And that's going to bring, I believe, fresh blood to the market.
Yeah. Also, when bad things start to happen, and I mean kind of like people feel icky about what's happening on whatever platform they bought their ETFs on, or what the government does with those ETFs or whatever, then the cool part though is people will go, wait, I think people can control these things themselves. Like the knowledge that happens is already there. It's not just this ETF or not just these government controlled products. So eventually something bad will happen. Data will get leaked, whatever, something bad's going to happen. And then people will know that there's another thing they can do with it. It's just like what happened with schools, right? When COVID came around, the schools got ruined, and there were these other for education for your kids that were already in place. So like this is a good thing, without a doubt. I think this is a good thing that the base Bitcoin is actually also there for when people realize they're going to want that or need it for later. I don't think right now this is good excitement all around. I'm pretty happy about it.
It's a huge step for crypto, that's for sure. Yeah. And as I was saying, it's really good also for us because basically, like it's really important to understand that for projects, being able to manage the whole infrastructure and going through bear markets is a very difficult step for all projects. That's why you see a lot of projects that are disappearing. And we did actually a lot of work to make sure that we were extremely healthy. At the end of the last year, we really started the situation like this year. We're starting the situation in a much better, healthier situation than last year. And we're really prepared to whatever the market brings to us. And of course, like if the market goes green, like for us, it will be a very powerful boost. We'll be able to develop a lot of things. But even if it was turning different, we're really committed to be there. And now we have a very strong infrastructure to be able to move forward. The development with, like, of course, the desktop wallet and whatever has already been released, including the escrow and the subscription that will be integrated like in an easy user-centric way in the wallets, and of course the side chains, right? The side chains direction, which is going to lead the next few years for Divi, which is going to bring a lot of utility to Divi. Basically, all the utility that you can find on other chains will be able to be brought to Divi without compromising on the security layer, the UTXO, and it is going to basically expand the capabilities of the Divi ecosystem. It's really like, I can't even give a numbers because it's basically unlimited. Whatever you can think about can be integrated into a side chain, which can be connected to basically the Divi main chain. And it really opens completely the usage for Divi. And of course, Divi uses fees in all this system. So it is really a great future for the Divi Foundation.
if done right, it breaks all of the problems, or crushes with a sledgehammer all the problems that currently exist in the EVM style smart contracts on every chain. All these problems that you've seen, where I think somebody published, and I retweeted it, it was like $1.9 billion in loss just for people participating in so many of these features and functions for these opportunities. If we do this right, and those who develop on these templates of these smart contracts do it right, all of that is dead. It protects everyone. It brings back true sovereignty, a la Satoshi.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize.
Go ahead,
Nick.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize what the caveats with the L2 chains on Ethereum are. I mean, they're a good solution as long as the technology is being used with the right intentions, essentially, because there's enormous sacrifices being made from a security and decentralization perspective to enable the L2s.
Yeah.
Obviously, the bridges themselves are only as secure as the smart contract, and you see them get drained all the time. We saw all last cycle. But also, like, the majority of the L2s are really just a proxy smart contract mandated by a multi-sig. Like, your whole network is, and every one of them is making that same sacrifice. So that I'm not against the L2s at all on Ethereum, but there should be a more secure way to enable them, and sidechains actually has the ability to do that trustlessly. That's what excites me about it. Like, it solves a major problem. Everyone I've spoken to about this, you know, and obviously it's super early, but everyone I've spoken to about it behind the scenes is like, oh shit, like, you guys have that.
Totally.
It's going to be a thing where people ask, like, so why do you need a new coin to do the thing? Like, that's the entire Cosmos case is do a new coin to do the thing, or the entire Ethereum case is do a new token to do the thing. Like, you just, like, getting rid of that is so much. It changes the entire field. But it's early. We got to release this thing, and then we can start making this claim for real.
I think that both of you may even actually to answer this, but when you mention the possibilities, everybody always thinks oracles, or everybody always thinks smart contracts, or everybody always thinks bridges, and then when you say no, none of that is necessary, they look at you like you're on drugs. They have no idea until you can sit down and explain what is built into the layer ones that makes all this possible. If they utilize these sorts of I won't go into it, but if it's worked out the right way, it makes it extremely beautiful. And then they are shocked at what has come about, right? That nobody else has actually done this kind of a thing. So we should
I mean, what's nice is now the infrastructure, like, globally within the crypto space, exists to make the actual development of things like L2s. Like, there's multiple data availability layers. There's multiple L2 frameworks that you can spin up in a matter of moments. Now you have omni-channel, omni-chain, like, technologies and stuff. So like, our job is a lot easier when it comes to actually deploying the side chains, because now we don't have to make the sacrifices that some of the L2s do, but we also don't have to spend years spinning up an L2 and doing all the things that you know, things like Matic had to do in the beginning. So I'm excited about it. Let's move on to some tangible items, because I think one of the most exciting things that's happened over the past 3 months, really just past 6 weeks, was the first official DAO initiative was fully funded as of today. Is that right?
100% actually over, I think, right? Neeks would be able to answer that.
That's right. We were a little bit above, thanks to Gary, who helped us. I mean, thanks to everybody. We had, I think, 37 participants in total. So we're really thankful for everybody. So we were able to secure now a full year of service with CLS, which is our partner for market making. They accepted to take this last piece of payment and upgrade us to the 12-month service.
Isn't that awesome?
It has been working. It is really awesome. It has been working very well since they started basically being active. Our volume is really consistent, and basically the liquidity is always there. It is really a big help and a strong thing to know that we will have that for the next 12 months. And realistically, it's not that we wouldn't have had this service, but we might have had a more limited service, and we would have had to pay for other things, which would have impacted on basically other resource like development or potential marketing activities. So it is a good thing to have the community step up for that. This is not the last initiative that we will do with the DAO. We'll not start immediately. We don't want to ask people for money constantly, but we do want to bring the community in the things moving forward for Divi. It would be great to reach higher level of service with the community participation besides what the foundation founds. So a lot more will be coming. You can expect more. And again, thank you very much for taking part in that.
You know what's amazing?
Go ahead.
I just want to say quickly, like, first of all, it demonstrates that the community is still there, extremely active, even, 7-8 years into this, however long it's been. But
yeah,
you can also see like an immediate return on investment, so to speak, right? Like, people contributed, the market grew stronger. Of course, the overall market is growing stronger as well, which helps. But you see like a much more active market on KuCoin and even on the DEXs and stuff like that. But also some of the ancillary benefits that probably people aren't necessarily seeing is I'm getting now outreach from other exchanges. They're seeing that we've seen an increase in activity on our own market. They're like, oh, we want you to come list on this exchange, that exchange. So now we're actually able to start looking at new exchange listings for the first time in a long time, honestly. Because some of the budget was, freed up because now we're not paying for, the monthly fee for the market making, but also because it's just it's an indicator, right? So a lot of exchanges look for this. This is how we can start to implement an exchange strategy, which we have internally now over the course of the next 12 months or so. And that of course opens up the doors to a lot more users and a lot more eyes on Divi and things like that. So it's really strong in multiple ways. So I feel like if you contributed $100 or $500 to this initiative, you've already seen the return on that investment. Like, if the price has gone up, we've seen the price go up. So you've at least seen an increase in your coin holdings, So hopefully that will be a good indicator for future DAO initiatives as well.
Yeah, and hopefully we get the interface better.
I also wanted to specifically thank Taz, who has been relentless, has really helped making sure everybody knew about this initiative. And really, I don't think we would be here without this help. So thank you very much, Taz.
She's been affectionately called in the chat channel Taz Collector. Taz Collector. That's she's the Taz Collector. Thank you all, Coin OG.
Yeah, amazing. Cool. So I think we can probably move on to some of our other topics, which are also very tangible and sort of short term. Let's start with probably one of the things that a lot of people are curious about, which is what's going on with the mobile wallet, right? Yeah. It seems like, we've pretty much got it to a point of relative stability over the course of the bear. And then if I was looking from the outside, I'd say, oh, you guys have shifted focus to other products. Not true. Not true. There's always a focus on mobile. Okay, so let me just quickly preface this because I think it's important to understand from a strategic perspective why we do the things we do. When I met Josh, who's the head of the emerging solutions division, I wanted to create basically a R&D arm for the company, because moving fast in crypto is really important, but moving fast with a financial product is really bad, and it can put people at risk. So we wanted to make sure that our core product, which is obviously the wallet, the desktop wallet and the mobile wallet, we want to make sure that those core products are always as secure, smooth, and everything as humanly possible. But we also wanted to build other things and make sure that we can move fast on different trends and things like that. We've been a little slow to some things. We've been a little fast to other things. It doesn't matter. The point is we have now, we have obviously the Divi DeFi channel, which is pretty amazing at this point. You have cross-chain staking, which is probably the only genuine cross-chain staking thing that I've seen. That's not like a restaking or a LST.
It's true. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Actually, when I spoke to Pone Sauce yesterday, he was really stoked on that. He's like, "You guys are the only masternode coin from back in the day that's actually done anything to bridge your rewards or your liquidity onto other chains or do anything interesting whatsoever." And of course, it's staking rewards being bridged over, but so the point being, we build all these cool products like Divi DeFi, like Divi Swap, etc., with the intention to productize them in the future, right? So we can continue to work diligently on the mobile wallet and make sure that everything is working properly and securely. And then we can introduce the new products as needed and as we see them being viable. And that's exactly what we've done. So I'll pass it over to Neeks to give a quick update on the mobile wallet. And we can talk about how we see it going in 2024.
That's right. Thank you, Nick. So basically, this last year has been heavily into reviewing and kind of putting more mature code and infrastructure to support what was already created. So we spent a lot of time investigating and making sure that everything was really rock solid. And we're really reaching now the end of that big phase, and we'll be able to integrate some new features that are, I would say, like long time expected. So you will be able to have your NFTs in the wallet. You will be able to see like have Polygon, and will also open for other coins. And obviously related to what Nick just said, every other service that we offer, like Divi Swap or Divi DeFi, is also intended to be found in the Divi wallet directly. So I can't really give you a timeline for that. It is basically what's coming for this year. It is, again, based on the previous comment about the budget and how the market works. We're also making sure we strategically allocate resources. So we can't really give you a timeline for that. But this is definitely the plans for the future of the Divi wallet.
Yeah, I will add, because I'm the one who usually answers the support questions, is that it will be iterative. You've heard this word before. It will be layered. So everything that Neeks mentioned, he did preface by budget and those kinds of things. But as it happens, it will come in phases. And so you'll see something added, and then it'll be a little while, and then something else is added. It will not be all at one time. So it'll come throughout the year. The other thing that I would add about the mobile wallet is that the infrastructure for vaults will be changing. And as vaults are the most optimized process, purely the final version of vaults is shown in the desktop, you will eventually see sometime throughout this year mobile migrating. You won't experience any difference. You'll still have your one click, you'll still have your button, but you will see vaults also have a change to where vaults on mobile will need to be dismantled, or maybe some flow increase so that you can migrate, but they will migrate to the same exact optimized infrastructure that are on desktop. So I just wanted to add that.
Nick, I moved into your house.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
It seems you have the same house, but lower quality.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lower quality house.
This is the version.
You got the Walmart version of my house.
He got the IKEA version.
Yeah, let's add a little bit more about the Divi wallet. We actually have several new screens. We have a new home screen. We have a lot of the infrastructure that's already built, and you will hear about it when we're ready to get it out. And we'll basically try to keep some things active. We have like a small update that is coming in the next few weeks about fixing some small stuff and making a better staking vote screen and all that. You'll see that coming, and we'll keep it active.
I saw it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I've seen the screens as well. And I mean, a lot of these things are literally just getting in my opinion, getting the mobile wallet up to standard. And then you have the newer products. which we could talk about now. So obviously you guys have seen us talking a lot about Divi Swap. Divi Swap was kind of our stealth play. We just launched it a couple of weeks ago. It's gone really well. We've seen several hundred people sign up. Lots of people starting to give it a shot. I know that ETH gas fees was one of the big feedback pieces that I got. You know, it's a little expensive to offboard with on the Ethereum network. So we're looking at adding Polygon, and we'll add other chains as well. I did put out a poll on Twitter asking about which chain we should add next. It looked like Solana was very popular. So we'll look at that as well. Right now, we have in testing the Zelle on-ramp. So I've tested it myself. It works really well. We've tested it across a couple of other banks. I think it's pretty much ready to go. We've had some beta testers on it as well. It's hard to say exactly because there are 300 plus banks that we need to account for. So there's going to be some support, I'm sure. But in general, the system actually works really well. Basically, you scan a QR code on your screen or you send the Zelle to an email address, just like you would always send Zelle. And within seconds, you have USDT in your wallet. It works very well with USDT. The next thing we'll be adding Divi as the secondary coin. There's lots of coming for the Divi Swap site. So obviously the baseline features are on-ramp and off-ramp. You can buy and sell instantly crypto. But Divi fees will be implemented. Divi off-ramp will eventually come. But also we're looking at doing some unique things with the DeFi platform and actually integrating across channels. You'll have the point system coming, referrals, and lots of other really fun features. So it's a great product. Everybody seems to really be enjoying it. And since I'm mentioning DeFi, I figured I'd bring Josh up on stage to give us a little bit of an update on what's going on with the DeFi channels. What's going on, man?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
So where are we with DeFi? Some big updates actually. The smart contract for referral commissions is code complete. So we're going to be working on that. A couple $100 for the deployment. Probably one of the most expensive contracts we've ever deployed on ETH. Right now, what we're really working towards is getting a dashboard stood up. We could go live with it today. We could go live with referral commissions right now, just so everyone knows how it works. We discussed storing the referee system on chain, but we commonly get a lot of gas complaints about ETH, so we figured it'd be better to just kind of store that on like a centralized database. That way everything's there. It's a lot cheaper for the users. It's not any kind of information that's going to be like a really specifically critical like security thing. So we wanted to make sure that we just prioritize user experience for that piece. I know it's always, it's a sacrifice between storing on chain and storing on a centralized source, but for something like that, there's not really any harm. So that's ready right now. We've done some testing in production, on the Ethereum mainnet. So that's gone really well. Just so everyone understands kind of how the system is going to work. Essentially, whenever you send anybody a link to the DiviDefi.com site, at the end of that domain, if you put your Web3 address, it logs, the server picks it up, logs it in the database, and then we basically, we oracleize that into the smart contract, fancy term, essentially telling the smart contract to send you a referral commission anytime a trade takes place for that individual. You can have as many referrals as you want. And right now the implementation is such that the trades that are done on there, you're going to be earning in perpetuity, meaning if somebody trades on there for the next 3 years, you referred them with your specific link, you're going to be earning commissions on that for as long as they're trading on it. So I think that's going to really help us incentivize a more kind of decentralized marketing effort, or maybe distributed.
Quick question, Josh. Sorry.
I want to make sure I don't say decentralized. I always misuse that word. A distributed marketing effort. So,
Josh, is that unique to like are there any other referral mechanisms that work like that where you're actually getting like not on the obviously the centralized exchanges have that, but do any of the DEXs have that? Is that unique to us?
Not that I've ever come across. Sushi had something where, I mean, way back in the day, they would take similar to Uniswap. They would do a 0.3% trade fee. They take 0.25 and send that to the LPs, and they would take 0.05 and send it to sushi token holders. So it's kind of just like a pool, right? They socialize the rewards. In this specific case, you're going to be earning like exactly from the person that you referred. So I've never come across it. I've never come across it before. I just figured it'd be something that would really help us kind of like spread the word and incentivize people promoting the platform. And keep in mind, guys, like, the rewards generated, not only benefit you guys, but it benefits the project because, for us to do the maintenance, the upkeep, updating libraries, and even deploying new smart contracts, we take some of the trade fees that are generated. It's a 1% proxy fee, and we use that to just do maintenance on it. I mean, it essentially sustains itself, so we can pay for hosting, updates, etc. Now, the long-term goal is that if we generate enough revenue from the DeFi protocol, we're going to be able to share that with the community and ideally have the DAO, right, do the funds. So in a perfect world, 1 year down the road, assuming we're getting a lot of traction on the DeFi site and we have enough revenue to maintain it, and additionally we have discretionary, funds, the goal would be to create a community fund that's governed by the DAO, and then people can submit proposals, and we can use those funds to better the overall ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean that's huge.
That's really great.
I'm stoked on all this stuff because we've literally just kept building, which I know is like so cliche to say, and everybody
we did
says,
that one for free.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
was,
so many people like on this team have made huge sacrifices to keep the dream alive, and you're no exception to that, and I really appreciate you. All of you guys that are on the call, and even backstage, and the community as well. Like just the amount of dedication that you guys have had to a project it's easy for crypto people to be like, it's old, so it's dead. It's like such a shame that crypto works like that. It's such like a fashion
people
industry.
Always chase shiny things. Yeah, it's all fleeting. Yeah.
Whatever's hot right now and nothing ever else. And that's why we have 4-year cycles. No other technology goes through such instantaneous cycles. Like 4 years is no time really at all. Whereas, like in traditional tech, how long did it take for AI to come into the fold? Like AI has been under development for like 40 years, probably more, something like that. Rob, you're
learning. Yeah. Thanks. When I was in college, I was learning AI stuff.
I was going to say, what was it like back then?
Yeah. That was the 90s. There's AI stuff. It looked kind of stupid. It was fuzzy logic and neural nets. By the way, all this LLM stuff are neural nets.
He was writing it in BASIC then.
Yeah. C, but yeah. So I mean, it's been a long time.
Exactly. So, and you could make the argument that blockchain has been under works for a long time as well, probably since the beginning of the internet. Really, there's been discussions about something like blockchain and something like cryptocurrency, but it hasn't been under like significant R&D the way that AI has. But yeah, anyway, like crypto, to mature, I feel like it needs to refocus on the projects and the things that are most significant. Like the fundamental aspects of it that make most companies valuable, like in the real world, like a track record of success, a history of survival, like resiliency against markets and things like that should actually matter to people. But, we'll get there in the end. The most important thing is that we've survived all this time, and you guys have been a huge part of that. So it's been amazing. I know we have to get over to Jeff in a second. I just wanted to quickly wrap up our Divi part quickly by saying I'm going to Sarasota tomorrow, or tonight actually. I leave on a red eye to Florida to go speak at an event with my buddy Ben, Bitcoin Ben. So I know a lot of you guys are big fans of Ben. Obviously, I've been friends with him for many years, and we're excited to be back at the Founders event this Saturday. I'm speaking. We'll be on the radio down in Sarasota as well. There's a bunch of other things going on while I'm there. So I'll be demoing and promoting Divi Swap primarily, but also giving big updates about things like side chains and some of those other things that you've heard on this call today. So I think, it's good timing. Obviously, we just launched a new product, so it's good timing to get the word out about that, but also update the existing members of that community on what's happening in our world. There's a lot obviously going on, and it's hard to keep up with everything. So it's always been a successful event for us. I see great things ahead with that community, which he's built to massive, massive numbers. He'll be streaming as well, I think. So I'm sure you'll be able to find it if you're not able to attend the event. But stay tuned. And hopefully if you guys are going, I'll be able to catch up with you over there. If you are, just reach out on Twitter or whatever, and we'll find a time to meet up. With that said, there's a lot more coming down the pipe as far as business development is concerned. We've built stuff. We have products. We have a lot of polished products. We have a lot of products that are getting close to the point where I feel they're ready to be pushed out into a broader spectrum of usage. And that's important for us. So I see great things in 2024. I definitely feel bullish on crypto in general, but also on what we're doing. The network is decentralized to the extent that it's literally running itself. There's very little influence that I can have on the DAO or Jeff can have on the DAO at this point. It's doing its own thing, which is exactly what you want to see at this stage of a project. And it's exciting. It's exciting to watch it all grow and flourish. And I think that we have a huge opportunity in 2024 to take what we've built and capitalize on it in a new market where there's a lot more interest, a lot more legitimacy coming from, there's congressmen buying ETH and there's ETFs now and all that stuff. So exciting. I think we're in a great position. I'm very excited, and I'm very excited to bring my buddy and business partner, Jeff McCabe, up on stage to talk about another decentralized aspect of our community, which is Lightning Works. What's going on, Jeff?
Jeff, you're muted.
Classic.
Classic. Yeah, classic. Yeah, I'm super excited to be here and see everybody's faces. It's awesome. I feel like we should do this every day. It'd be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Really nice. So what's going on with Lightning Works? What's the latest?
Yeah, so I mean, things are going really, really well. Just like with Divi in the old days, just all this stuff moving on around in the background that's happening. I'm talking with so many incredible projects right now that want digital comics or a game in their ecosystem, and so we're getting into this great stage now with the bull run where all of these projects have these gigantic funds, or they have $100 million, even $1 billion, some of them, and they're going to be throwing mad money at anything that looks good, right? And this is what they did in the last bull run, and they're doing it again. And so we've spent 3 years. I spent over $2 million building all this stuff. So we have like this incredible track record now, and a lot of everything we're doing is something that nobody else is doing as far as the way we're doing the comics, and we have a whole bunch of things that our game can do that no other game in the world can do. And it's all set up so we can add new coins, we can add NFTs, peer-to-peer marketplace within the game using crypto, just all this kind of stuff that people want to see. And I've spent a lot of time talking to a lot of the sort of captains of industry in the crypto space about why things failed, right? I've talked to the head of games at Binance, head of games at Polygon extensively about what they want to see, why things didn't work. The number one reason that these things didn't work was, especially with games, was that they weren't fun. But the other thing was that's even more important is that they can't get people to use MetaMask, right? There's only so many people. It's just a tiny market of people who are using MetaMask, and we've really solved that with Divi Go. So when they've seen what we can do, we can onboard people into games, get people their NFTs, get people their tokens within seconds, and they don't need to know anything about gas or blockchain or any of this. They get really excited. So we're sort of integrating our wallet into everything. Yeah, it's really simple, right? You can see how it works right there. You can scan the QR code or you click a link. We have it all now working in Telegram. So I'll be reaching out pretty soon to the community to get everybody to open their Telegram wallet. And what's really cool is that you have the same wallet whether you're in Telegram or WhatsApp. So the idea is that no matter where you go, you're going to find our stuff, and that includes Divi, right? So people will have Divi as a discount token wherever they go. So like what you're going to be seeing in the next few months is that there's going to be a Divi that's on CoreDAO chain. There's one on Polygon already we're integrating with, and that'll be on Binance. Basically, anybody that we're integrating the games and the comics with will have Divi, a version of Divi. And this has been one of my dreams for like 5 years. Is what we call Divi everywhere, right? So we want to have Divi in all the chat apps, all the social media apps, and on all the blockchains. This is a strategy nobody is doing, and it's really quite good. I mean, it's also what Web 2 wants to see. They don't want their users to have to figure out about gas, about chains and networks and all this kind of stuff. It's so easy to make a mistake and send coins to the wrong network, right? And so with the Divi Go wallet, and by having Divi everywhere and having it all run by bots in the background in social media apps, people don't have to worry about all this stuff. They can just have their Divi and their other cryptos and their NFTs. We don't call them NFTs anymore. We call them digital collectibles, but they can have their digital collectibles anywhere, right? Whether those are for games or comics or art. So that's basically what we're working on. Right now, we're preparing for a launch for Alien Worlds. Alien Worlds is the biggest gaming DApp in the world, and we're launching them on Polygon, which is the first time that Alien Worlds has done anything on Polygon. So Polygon's super excited, and so we're working with their marketing department to get a lot of backing for that. And we're also going to have a bunch of stuff with Wax. Wax is committed to making Alien Worlds their number one, basically their number one showcase project, and we're doing the comics for them. So we're going to get a lot of attention from the entire Wax, roster of influencers and their marketing department. So basically, what I'm doing is working with all these marketing departments and a lot of layer ones right now, and Divi will be everywhere. So there's going to be millions of people that find out about Divi through what we're doing, I'm sure. And I can't guarantee, what that means, but you can probably imagine. And so right now, it's just a tremendous amount of work getting all these things going, because we probably have 20 or 30 unique new tools that haven't existed anywhere else. And so we're sort of tying all these things together right now, and we don't have any money, so we're doing it with just a tiny team of people, and whatever money I can kind of scrounge together from my other businesses. We are in talks with a bunch of investors, including probably the best investor in the entire space, who they told me yesterday that they absolutely love the project and it's a perfect fit. So we're expecting an investment there. And if they invest, then everybody's going to invest. And I haven't even told them about like all the amazing stuff that Divi has yet. But I'm going to do that in probably in the next few days. And they actually just invited us to pitch at a big investors conference. They invited me yesterday, and so my friend Ghost has just said he'll do it because I have to be in Costa Rica on the 23rd for another investor meeting. So it's so there's a lot of incredible stuff going on. I know, Nick, did you get the pictures of I want to show off some of the pages of the Alien Worlds comic. It's really cool.
Yeah, I've been pulling it up as you've been speaking.
Okay, yeah, I'm like in my head, I don't even see anything, right, when I'm talking like this. So these are actually pages from 3 different comics that we're getting ready for launch. The first one is a hero from India and his name is Kumo. So we've designed different characters for different markets. We have characters from Indonesia, Philippines, China, Japan, everywhere, right? And for different markets, and that allows us also to partner with companies and media outlets and stuff like this for PR effect in those different countries. The second one's from Siege Worlds #1, which we're going to release soon. It's actually 60 pages of art, and it's a really good story. And then the next one is Moon One, which is done, and that's done by a amazing Marvel artist named DG French. And see, what else do you have to show? So Starblind. So this is the comic that we're going to try to release it on Monday in the afternoon. We were going to try to release today, but we just have so many new things, and we want to do some more testing. But it's the ecosystem we've developed is very, very big for what we're doing, and involves a lot of sort of complications, which we think collectors are going to like. There's a lot of really cool different ways to collect. There's different ways to add value. When you buy something, you often get a lot of other stuff. This comic actually has a game inside it that's HTML5 game. So as you flip through the pages, you then get a game that you can play that's done with HTML5. And then we're going to be adding, what we're doing is making sort of a free spin kind of thing that will probably not be ready at launch. But the idea is, you know, you can open up your comic every day. You go to that page, you can play the game, and you're going to win something free every day. So we get people coming back over and over and over, and we have a chance to basically show them new comics, new different things, and pitch them different ideas because they want to come back and get their free thing. So we have all these really cool, innovative things that we're building, and we're really close to launching all of it. Right now, it takes like 2 weeks to like connect all the different parts to launch a new comic. But this time we're building, you know, James and Joe are building all these incredible tools to automate that. And we even have this really amazing thing where you can basically build your comic book page in Photoshop and then tag the layer names with the animation you want. And the tool will then animate the whole set of art straight from Photoshop. And nothing like this has ever existed, right? And so we're building really cool tools like this so that artists can create really neat animated comics with all our cool stuff built in really easily, with just a few clicks. I mean, we're always into this one-click thing, right? It's kind of obsessed about it since the beginning of Divi, but it's what people want, and it's kind of the way the world, you know, Amazon kind of started it with the, you know, the one-click purchase, and so people want to click things and have it work, right? And crypto has always been the opposite of that, and it's always been our thing, right? With Divi, is making things really easy to do. And so, anything else? I don't know if you have any particular questions, Nick.
Well, I just want to say, you know, as we watch the NFT market change and shift over the, you know, the years, we see the PFP project of the previous hype cycle, like Azuki, you know, Bored Apes, Pudgy Penguins. They're all doing IP plays.
Mhm.
So, but of course, they're doing them somewhat retroactively. You know, Pudgy Penguins was obviously taken over by Luca Netz. He started to do the toys, right? So, and that's done really well. It's getting into the hands of Twitch streamers and all this stuff. It's bridged into a market that's more broad than NFTs, which is extremely niche. You know, Azuki's doing an anime, doing a video game. The point I'm making is you, with Lightning Works, started from the perspective of IP and built backwards into the NFT, which is, in my opinion, it's a longer term, but a much more strength position to be in. And IP is what drives humanity. I mean, literally everything that we watch now is some recycled IP from when I was a baby or when you were a baby or whatever. You know, I just went and saw Willy Wonka with my wife and my mom the other day. It's like, how many Willy Wonka movies have we seen, right? But it's still such a powerful IP. If you can create one Willy Wonka, you know.
And people don't realize like how big this market is. I mean, the digital sales of digital comic books and manga right now is going to be about 25 billion, and then webtoons and their competitors are expected to be about 30 billion. So we're talking about 50, 60 billion dollars, and this is in sales, but the IP value is nearly $1 trillion. So it's really much larger than people think. And what's cool about blockchain is it actually solves an incredibly important problem for this industry, because it's so expensive to print paper and ship it all over the world. And like, you know, there's 200 plus languages, right? But Marvel, as big as they are, only prints in 11 languages. That's the most they've ever printed in. And with the technology we've built, we can do all 200 languages, and you can just click a button and it switches between all the different languages. And and the languages actually change in the word bubbles in the comics, right? Because it's all built with HTML5. And so that solves a gigantic problem for the industry too. We basically solved all these huge problems for the industry, and there's nobody that has this technology except for us. And so, I mean, people are I mean, it would take anybody a year. Even if Apple put $1 billion in, it would take them more than a year to probably build what we built, right? So we're very far ahead in all of this. And so people are like, you know, always saying, you know, they don't understand like the value of comics, right? It's not just comics, you know, there's a lot of money that's in all kinds of digital collectibles and digital products that the technology we've built works for, whether it's just publishing books or it's digital art or it's stuff for games. And these are all gigantic industries that we're solving problems for. So I'm extremely bullish on Lightning Works and what we're doing, and I'm getting incredible feedback from all the people that we're showing it to. The problem for me is that I just don't have time to build everything and have time to like chase investors, because chasing investors is like a full-time job. If you want, you have to kind of choose as a CEO, like either you chase money all day or you build something. And so it's you just can't do both. Even if and I'm working 100 hours a week and I can still only do one thing. And so I spend like 5% of my time chasing money and 95% of the time building and running the teams. So we're coming in the bull run. Everything's about to change, I think. And so I'm extremely excited about our future. And I'm going to do everything I can to, you know, get Divi in front of everybody with everything I'm doing. So it's always, you know, part of what I'm doing.
We appreciate that, man. And yeah, you guys are absolutely killing it. We are almost perfectly at an hour, just over by 50 seconds. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. I really appreciate everyone coming and joining. We've had almost 100 viewers like concurrently this entire time, which is remarkable. I love to see all of the community comments in the sidebar here. I know we didn't get a chance to really go over Q&A, but we're happy to do that in Discord or on Twitter. So just come join the conversation wherever you feel most comfortable hanging out. I once again thank you to Neegs, Voice, Josh, Renuk, who didn't go on stage, but he has been backstage the entire time. Jeff and Josh and the rest of the whole team, the whole community. You guys are amazing. We have a fantastic year ahead of us. We've done quite a bit of work to get to this point where we can actually go in from a position of strength with a diversified ecosystem, with a slew of new products, and some amazing updates and features coming down the pipeline. Even still, I just don't see how we don't crush it this year. I'm really excited. I'm just, you know, I wake up early every day before my alarm because I just can't wait to get into the day. And get ready and go, because there's just so much to do. There's so much fun stuff happening. And I don't want to miss a second of it. So I really appreciate everyone. Love you guys. And let's have a great and amazing 2024. I'll see you guys next time.